Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Rhodes. Thank you for being here today. We are extremely excited about an item that we put on the agenda for today for the TeleDeputy. This is a partnership with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. If passed, this would be an investment of $1.7 million of ARPA funds to the Sheriff's Office for an overtime program. What this will do is that officers during overtime will respond to lower level priority calls. This will help free up law enforcement officers' time to focus on priority 1 and priority 2. There are certain calls that are received via 911 that do not need an officer to physically go out and respond. So what this program would do would separate the calls. Those lower level calls that can be addressed from an officer on the other end of the line will be handled, therefore freeing up law enforcement officers' time, better leveraging their time for priority 1 and 2. This will help reduce the response time that the Sheriff's Office has for the higher priority times, thereby helping victims and helping the administration of justice here in Harris County. This is huge for public safety. And this is really huge because about 60% of the calls that the Sheriff's Office receives, 60% are these lower level calls. So by having someone on the other end stay on the other end of a phone rather than sending out a deputy for these lower level, again, 60% of the calls, things like an unattended vehicle, an abandoned vehicle, a tip on a crime, how to submit evidence, those sorts of calls will be handled, and we will have more time for the violent offenses that are in progress. So this will reduce response times, increase public safety, and not only will they help reduce response times for all priority 1 and 2 calls, that is the goal, but it will also specifically be targeted to helping get to calls of domestic violence sooner. This is huge for Harris County. We know that, unfortunately, approximately 30% of murders are related to a domestic violence incident. So again, by freeing up law enforcement officers to double down and focus on these high priority calls, we will be keeping residents of Harris County safer. I want to thank Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, Chief Lee. We will hear from Team Member Razo momentarily. They've been working for months with our Precinct 4 team, working up this plan to submit to the ARPA Committee, the American Rescue Plan Committee, which is headed by Leah Barton and her team. We will hear from her. I want to thank President Biden and our local congressional delegation, because these are federal funds that, if passed later today, will be put to work to improve public safety here in Harris County. We are doing this working together with the federal government, with our local government here, to best leverage taxpayers' dollars, to best leverage law enforcement officers' time so that we can improve public safety for our residents. So I want to thank again the Sheriff's Office for their partnership. Thank you to Sheriff Gonzalez. And we will be also hearing from my colleague, our former Harris County Sheriff and now Harris County Commissioner for Precinct 2, Commissioner Garcia. We will hear from him, another champion for public safety. So I hope that this effort will be passed. We will put the $1.7 million to work to continue making Harris County even safer. So thank you very much. Ms. Rhodes.
And we will now hear from Major Alonso.
Good morning. My name is Major Jesse Razzo, and I oversee the Homeland Security Bureau within the Harris County Sheriff's Office. I'm here to express our support for the potential funding and full implementation of the TeleDeputy program. The program is aimed at improving community safety and reducing emergency call response times. Our goal is to provide additional resources to the community and enhance the overall quality of service provided. Deputies working the TeleDeputy program will answer calls for service via phone that do not require an on-scene law enforcement presence. This approach prioritizes emergency calls, ensuring that law enforcement can respond promptly to critical situations, ultimately giving the residents of Harris County the response times they expect. The benefits for the community are reduced emergency call response times, leading to faster assistance in critical situations, enhanced community safety and peace of mind knowing that law enforcement resources are optimized. The benefits for law enforcement are improved resource allocation, enabling deputies to focus on high-priority calls that require an on-scene law enforcement response, and strengthen community relationships through innovative service delivery. On behalf of Sheriff Gonzalez, we want to thank Commissioners Court, the ARPA Steering Committee, the Office of County Administrator, and all those involved for the collaborative effort behind the support of the TeleDeputy program. We are confident the TeleDeputy program has the ability to benefit the community and law enforcement alike. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Commissioner.
Thank you. Good morning. I just want to thank Commissioner Briones for her leadership. It is one thing to campaign and talk about public safety when you're not at the table. It's another to keep your sleeves rolled up and continue to work. And I'm so proud that Commissioner Briones is still on the fight to keep Harris County safer. This particular program, I'm very excited about. I'm eager to vote for it and support it, and I have full confidence that it will pass today. But as she has very well indicated, the dispatch office to the Harris County Sheriff's Office and to really law enforcement across the spectrum, they receive a ton of calls in where the citizen is asking sometimes very non-urgent questions and have non-urgent matters. A bicycle's been stolen. They left their garage door open and not sure if someone might be there. These kinds of things are important to answer to, but they're not urgent. They're not where we are hearing that gunshots have been heard or fired, where there's been a major accident and someone is injured. These non-life-threatening events that are taking place as we speak do deserve attention and response, but not with lights and sirens. We need to make sure that our law enforcement officers are freed up to go save lives, go apprehend those violent, dangerous individuals that are causing problems in our community. And the program that Commissioner Briones and her team have put together, this $1.7 million, will absolutely be a resource and a support to those deputies in those patrol cars that want to be out there helping people and arresting those violent and dangerous individuals. But because there's so many other calls taking place, they are responding a little slower. This will help make sure that when the citizens pick up 911, they can expect that patrol car a little sooner. So I'm very proud of my colleague. She's staying on the battle to keep Harris County safer, and I'm proud to support this item. But as she also alluded, I want to also thank the administration, because if not for ARPA, there's a lot of things that we would not be able to do. And so we're very grateful to the administration for dedicating this money to Harris County. And now, Ms. Barton.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Leah Barton, directing our American Rescue Plan portfolio. And when the TeleDeputy program is approved, it'll bring our total investments in justice and safety to over $100 million in American Rescue Plan funds. Our other investments include efforts to reduce the court backlog, address the jail population, reduce recidivism, provide support services to survivors of domestic violence, and more. And what I'm impressed about within this program is that Major Susan Cotter, Sergeant Megan Herron, and their teams have really worked hard to understand the data, to optimize these resources and place them where they'll make the most difference, and set clear targets for improvement in our Priority 1 response times and response times for domestic violence. Across our American Rescue Plan portfolio, our investments are grounded in data, and this is a shining example of that. So by freeing up patrol officers to respond to the most critical calls, we'll be able to address these public safety issues more quickly. And I'm so grateful to Commissioner Briones for her sponsorship, Commissioner Garcia for his support, and our ongoing partnership with the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
All right.
Thank you. Do we have any Spanish language media here? Okay. Bueno, buenos días. Soy la comisionada Leslie Briones, aquí con mis compañeros. Me gustaría dar las gracias a la oficina del alguacil del Condado de Harris por tomar la iniciativa, comisionado García y el Bureau de Patrulla por trabajar con la oficina del alguacil y por responder al llamado de emergencias de nuestros residentes llamadas al 911. La seguridad es nuestra prioridad. La seguridad pública siempre ha sido una prioridad para mí y mis compañeros. Estoy orgullosa de la oficina del alguacil por encontrar formas innovadoras y efectivas. El programa de horas extra, Tele Deputy, conduciría una justicia más expectativa para las víctimas y para las familias. El programa de horas extras TeleDeputy es una parte clave de nuestro enfoque holístico hacia la seguridad pública. Estoy agradecida al alguacil González y su oficina para tomar la iniciativa de este programa y por su asociación con otros departamentos del condado para impulsar otras iniciativas como la fuerza operativa para personas violentas y el programa de equipos de respuestas de asistencia holística, HEART. Los programas horas extras, telediputado, la fuerza operativa para personas violentas y equipos de respuestas de asistencia holística van a trabajar para las familias aquí en el condado de Harris. Nuestra seguridad es tan importante que tenemos que invertir nuestro dinero del condado y del gobierno federal para que nuestros compañeros en la oficina del alguacil González pueden responder a las llamadas más críticas, más importantes de los crímenes que tienen algo que ver con violencia. Si ellos pueden responder a esas llamadas más pronto, con este programa, las otras llamadas de un coche que está en la calle, por ejemplo, de una pregunta como llamar, como pedir algo, una pregunta de evidencia, esas llamadas también vamos a contestarlas, pero esas llamadas van a ser contestadas de personas en la oficina. Mientras las otras llamadas críticas, ahora vamos a poder responder más pronto si hoy en el condado, aquí en el Commissioner's Court, vamos a hablar hoy mismo de estos 1.7 millones de dólares y ojalá con nuestros compañeros del corte podemos invertir este dinero para que podamos continuar mejorando la salud pública aquí en el condado de Harris. And I'll finish in English. Again, we are very excited about Commissioner's Court. We hope to get approval for this $1.7 million of federal ARPA funding to continue the progress improving public safety. And as a mother of three, as somebody who has been the victim of crime, as a lawyer who in the past worked with victims and survivors of domestic violence, being able to respond to these most critical, urgent calls in a faster fashion, this is an investment that will help improve the safety of Harris County. So thank you again to Sheriff Gonzalez and his team, to Commissioner Garcia, to Leah Barton and the ARPA team, and we look forward to court this morning. Thank you so much.
All right.
Are there any questions from the media?
Commissioner, you see any problems this passing today?
I am confident that it will pass. And I'm an internal optimist, so I think we could possibly get a unanimous vote on this. But I don't know. I've only spoken to one person about this.
Has this program, any other county have a program like this? Or?
Similar programs, I would defer
Yeah.
to us. Yeah, the answer is yes, but
I wanted to ask about the ARPA funding. So is it paying for additional officers, or is it for overtime for the officers that are already in the
overtime. Overtime for current officers.
Okay, so how is it supposed car or something that's considered low priority? Can you define what priority 3 and priority 4 is?
Sure, absolutely. I can, but I'd rather have the expert respond.
So your party 3 and party 4 calls are just what you said. Like somebody's calling in with, they had their flat tire, their car broke down, their bike is missing, or they lost their cell phone. Those type calls would be deferred to those deputies. They can handle it over the phone, so that way we don't have to have a patrol deputy go out and deal with that situation.
So is the process now, because, okay, I'm thinking that if the process happened now, say you got a call like domestic violence and at the same time you got somebody on a flat tire, wouldn't that be considered lower priority anyway? I guess I'm trying to understand what the ARPA funding is exactly for.
So the ARPA funding is going to be to for those deputies to come in, the additional deputies to come in into the dispatch center, work the phones, and all those calls, those lower priority calls, are going to be deferred to them for hopefully they can handle them over the phone. So that way a patrol deputy doesn't have to go out to the residents to deal with that, and he can deal with higher priority calls.
Okay, and the process now that they would go out no matter what?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I also wanted to ask, in terms of the officers, how many are we looking at in, working in the TeleDeputy unit?
So it just depends on how many sign up for overtime for the shifts, but hopefully we can get to about 8 to 10 is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Also wanted to ask you, for the deputies that are on that call, will they have to get a new type of training? Like, how was that process?
No, ma'am. It's,
Okay.
it's patrol deputies, so they already know how to handle those calls anyway.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
How long is the 1.7 million supposed to last another year? Are we going to look at possibly getting funding for this program next year or whenever that money goes out?
This is a one-year program. We'll be evaluating results along the way, and then Commissioners Court would have a choice as to whether they wanted to continue.
One more question. I know that, we have been addressing the issue as a nation about just the shortage and not running personnel. So this program's supposed to be maybe like a piece of the puzzle to kind of help address the overall issue?
Yes, it is. So we do have limited resources. So it's up to us to make sure those limited resources, the time, money we're investing, have the greatest outcome for improved public safety. So if anyone's watching and has an interest in law enforcement, please consider coming to work for Harris County. There is a shortage, and we're working really hard to address that, to make sure that working for Harris County is as appealing and as competitive. But in the meantime, we have a certain set of resources. We have a certain set of deputies who are serving us every day. So it's how do we best use and focus their time for the best improved outcomes for the county. So this is one piece of this very multifaceted approach, but it is a step forward. Not a silver bullet, nothing is, but it is a definite step forward.
One more follow-up question on that. So the deputies that are going to be in place, are they higher up deputies? Are these people who are newer to the law enforcement? Like, how does that?
No, ma'am. They're strictly patrol deputies, so they're experienced in handling these type of calls.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.